Look at this. You don't see cows like that very often, do you? Look after yourself, girl. You don't get many as good as you. We are a little bit worried from a safety point of view about being in here. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. It is a relatively warm and very sunny day here in Leicestershire, but it is really windy at the minute and keeps raining, which is quite annoying when you're trying to get cows out. Now, I promised you all a bit of a calving update, which I'm going to give you. I'm also going to talk to you about a bit of a project that we've got going on, which is quite a massive project actually. It's going to probably take us a few years to finish it, but it's kind of cool and it's the start of it. It's something we've been wanting to do for ages. So that's coming up. Oh, look at these. Got a couple of calves here in the pens. These guys have got to go out. That's going to be done in a minute as well. I need to clean these other pens out as well. We've just been super busy. Some of you guys will remember that I was on my AI course last week, which was really good actually. I finished that course with quite a lot of confidence, which is quite nice. Really looking forward to actually getting some semen and trying to inseminate some of these cows, because I think we could really start and make some inroads into some new genetics, which is cool. Stabilizers are all looking super happy. We've got some stabilizer calves in here, some purebred ones. I've got some stabilizers out of the blue heifers to show you. We've got Charolais out of blues and Charolais out of the older black cows as well. There's been a lot going on. It's been very busy here. While I think about it, these cows in the back here are just out eating. So if I come in here really quietly, you can see all these calves. This is where we've been putting the cows that have calved. I'm going to talk quietly because I don't want to upset them too much. We've been bringing the cows out of the yards and putting them into this yard. You remember that the other week I was in here with my Ag Mini and I was spreading lime. I've spread lime on top of this straw as well, which the Ag Mini did really surprisingly well. You can see here we've got some like all sorts of colours of calves. I'll explain a bit more about that in a minute because I've been having a few surprises. One's here just having a bit of breakfast. I'd love to get them out to grass, but I haven't quite got there yet. A lot of our grassland is meadows, and it's because it's been raining so much, it's been flooding, so we're a bit on edge about sticking some cows down there. Some of you might be interested in knowing that that calf just there, that's lying down, that grey one, is the brother to the Charolais calf that we're doing Battle of the Breeds with. It was the first calf this year, and the Charolais calf was the first calf last year. I think the mother does it really well, because look at it. It's an absolute unit. Considering it was born at like 30, I think it was about 38 kilos, it's a monster. Just grown really well. I think that cow must just be a really good cow because it's just throwing some cracking calves. Now my stabilizer bull Yeti, which we used on the stabilizers and on the blue heifers, has done really well and he's throwing a few calves out now. He's really starting to spit them out, but I'm not gonna lie, they've given me a little bit of a shock because I was fully expecting, having had a red bull, I know if I put that on black cows or red cows that I'll get red bulls. However, put it on blue cows, you get something a bit different. And here is one of them. They're like a really black, almost brown calf with these little bits of white on them. This is one and this is its mother. This one calved last night, just over 12 hours old, something like that. And they're super lively. They get up and they just suck. They do real well. The mothers have been great as well, so can't complain about them. But yeah, it's been a very big surprise for me. I was fully expecting to have some red ones. I have had some red ones, but mainly black ones. The ones out of the pure stabilizers, they've all been red. I'm not worried about them at all. I know they'll be red, but yeah, out of these blue ones, getting a few funny colors. Here's another one. Look, this one's really black. Again, with a bit of white on its head. That one calved yesterday too. Really, all in all, doing super well. Look at this. You don't see cows like that very often, do you? Look, every single cow is laid down in this yard. We were thinking about getting these yards cleaned out and we haven't done it. And part of the reason why we haven't done it is because if we get in one of these yards and one of these cows turns a bit nasty, I can jump this wall because it's about 3 foot high. If we clean them out, these walls are about 8 foot high and I ain't gonna get over them very quick. So it's just from a safety point of view, we can jump over this. If I just jump up on the wall as well, you'll see some of my stabilizer calves. There's 3 in here. These are all out of second calvers because the heifers that we bought, Tim puts the bull in around about 2 weeks later than we do. So they're about due to calve now. And if you look at that one just there, and it's got a bit of a bag on it. That's another one there. And they're all bagging up. So I think they'll be soon spitting a few more out. But these are absolute little beauties. These are so lively. It's incredible. Even the stabilizer calves out of the blues, so much livelier than the Charolais calves. You try and pick them up to go and weigh them and they go mad. They really do take some holding on to. Average birth weight so far have been about 33 to 35 kilos for heifers, somewhere about 35 to 40 kilos for bulls, which personally I think is ideal. They're all calving them on their own. Had to light assist a couple of heifers, but that is it. One of them was calving about 11 o'clock at night and we just wanted to get on with it because we wanted to go to bed. And the other one, again, was last night about 10 o'clock. Dad just decided to get the jack in and just carve it so he could go to bed. But other than that, they've been an absolute dream. They've been spitting them out. In some respects, I'm gonna say it's going too well. Everything's been fine. All the calves have been fine. Cows have been really good. Everything's mothered it really well. Something's bound to go wrong at some point because it can't just keep going this good. But I'm not complaining. I'm really not complaining. Now you might well have noticed that everything around here is a little bit white. And the reason for that is I've been using my Ag Mini to disinfect all of this gangway because, as you've just seen, we bring a lot of calves up here. We weigh the calves, we sort calves out, we end up dehorning in here and all sorts of things. Just trying to keep it super disinfected. The other cool thing about it is this bit gets a little bit damp and it dries it out lovely. So even on here now, super dry, so it stops the cows slipping as well. Everything currently is seeming very quiet. So we're gonna go and get some dinner, and then when we come back, I'll show you this building job we've got on. Now I'm fed and watered, let's have a look at this. So this building job we've got is this big old brick shed here. This is the one that's between the cattle race, which is here, and the calving pens, which is on the other side of it. And it's in dire need of some TLC because there's a big old hole in the roof up there. The floor is rotten, so we're gonna need a new floor. The electrics need redoing. The roof is an absolute state all the way along. It's all a slate roof and they've all fell off. It needs a proper re-roof, not just some tiles, full woodwork. It's the kind of job that if we got somebody in to do it, it's gonna cost like 50 grand. So we're gonna do it ourselves. We're gonna do it over time, just keep chipping away at it. But it really needs saving because it's a proper old barn, it's lovely. But the first job is inside that door there. Because when I was a kid, there was a miller mix that sat there and the corn used to come through from the other side up there. And then this side, that door that you can see, we used to have an auger. We used to go into that door. We used to back along here with the grain trailer. You'd tip it, auger it up, and there was a false floor in there. And then you'd auger it through into the miller mix. Then the false floor rotted out. My dad built a big old bin. So here it is. I know it's a bit dark in here, but it goes right up there. And it used to hold like 8 ton of corn, something like that. And he built all this out of, this is like motorway crash barriers. There's these metal sheets. I don't really know what they're off. They're the kind of metal sheets that you would use to hold earth back. The big heavy things. We always put building materials in this shed. We've had a clean out so that we can actually do something in here. But we're gonna take all this bin out because this whole job, as you can see, the roof needs some work. That needs tidying up. There's a staircase just here which goes up to that upper floor on the other side, which is the other side of that wall there. That all needs doing because that's all rotted away. It's just a bit of a mess, but we need to get this out so that we've got somewhere to start.
Let's get this end off to start. We've got a bit more room. You go up on the loft and we can get the bit of ladder up on that, up against that panel or something like that. Get a panel out. Once we've got one out, you have somewhere to be able to like work along, won't we?
Now, I don't think that's too bad for an afternoon. Got all the tins down, I've got one laying in the bottom, so I've got something to stand on. Our biggest worry, however, is getting that elevator down from up the top, because that's gonna be heavy. Don't really quite know how we're gonna do it. I think we're gonna have to put the pulleys up there and winch it down. But it's letting no end of light in. It's like a different shed. Right, I'm gonna go and check a cow. We've had one calf outside. I need to go look at that. And I want to go check that one in the bottom yard as well, make sure that's all alright. Right, let's just have a quick look. It was a black cow. Oh, it's just had it, it's just here, look. 1302. That's alright, isn't it? Chevrolet calf. You don't get much fresher than that on YouTube, do you? If you're wondering why those cows are in the field and not in the yard with the rest of them, they're in this bottom yard here, and they didn't go out to eat one day. There's one blue one, two black ones. The blue one was getting knocked under a little bit, so we thought she'd do better outside. The black ones, we thought were a little bit ill. They got a bit snotty noses and whatever else. Pulled them out of the yard. Turns out they were completely fine. Decided just to turf them out as well, and they've been all right, so that's why they stayed out there. And look here as well. How about this for liveliness? That little calf that was born in that corner over there about half an hour ago is just there, stood up, running around. Look at it. There's a happy little calf. That's how you want your calves. It's a big calf too. She's done well. There's a couple of cows as well that haven't gone out, so let's just check, make sure these two are all right. I don't think any of these have calved yet. No, she's all right. Oh, you're an old one. This one is old. This is a 415. I think she might be 15. One thing I like about herd watch is I can actually look them up. 415. She's actually 14.9 years old. She's nearly 15 years old. She was born on the 4th of April. So she's just due her 13th calf. Look after yourself, girl. You don't get many as good as you. Right, with them all checked round, let's see what tomorrow brings. Boom, day 2. We've been busy. We've had some more calves. So this one is in the pens. It doesn't need to be in the pens, but she was trying to take to a Charolais calf. So stuck her in there out of the way so that she was, you know, not causing me any more trouble than she needed to do. We're just about to start doing a bit more building. We've had some more calves. We've had a old black cow calve a Charolais calf in the night. That was up and sucked and happy as Larry this morning. And I've got another cow that is just calving in the bottom yard at the minute, so we're gonna have a look. They usually like to take themselves off down the yard. Oh, she's not calved yet, she's just still just here. She's a 15 cow, so she should be all right. I'll come back in half an hour and see how she's getting on. First job is we're gonna go up there and get that motor right up in the top. Can you see it? Right up there. We're gonna get some straps around it, put a bar up in the roof to hold it to, and get these pulleys.
Old style fork truck.
We're gonna get them up, strap it up there so that we can take the weight, so we can get this all down, because we somehow need to get that down from there, and there's no way we're gonna lift it down without something, and you can't get a forklift in here or anything, so we're gonna have to get this all up there, make that safe, and then we can start and take everything else down. Let me just show you what we've done, because I know it's dark in here. Let me just push this door open, it might let a bit more light in. There we go. We are trying to get this motor down from up there. I put a bar across the roof in the rafters. I've put a winch onto that bar. We've took some weight. That rope is running out of that doorway. We have taken it out from the bottom, and we've put this strap around the bottom of it. What we're gonna do, we're gonna take the fork truck, we're gonna put the forklift out there, put it onto crab steer, put a chain on here, and we're gonna pull the bottom away and try and take the weight up in the roof to see if we can then cut it down, because we are a little bit worried from a safety point of view about being in here. So what we can do is we can have both of us out of the shed and nobody has to be in here, and then if it does fall, it's not going to cause any damage because nothing in here. This is an old rail we used to use for running an auger in and out. We've got old electrics in here that aren't attached to anything, so we're not too worried if any damage occurs in here. I'm not sure where I'm going to put the camera so that you can see it, but this could go really well. I mean, in some respects it would be cool if it just collapsed, but yeah, we're going to see. It could be interesting. Anyway, that's enough of that shed for another day because we've got so many calves to go and sort out. I've got a heifer just calving there. As you can see, I've got another one there that is pretty imminent. It's walking around with its tail up. So that'll be tonight. Had 3 calve at lunchtime and 1 calve before lunch. So it's just a bit mad. Whatever you get up to this weekend, have a great one. Look after yourself, stay warm, stay dry. See you in a bit. Ta-da!